So SmackDown kicked off with Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, which made no sense. Surely Asuka should have gone after Io Sky, especially after losing the woman's title. But instead, these two had it out. A very decent match until Io Sky's music hit and out came Damage Control. It would then lead to Io and Bayley taking out Charlotte and Asuka. We then had a backstage interview with Santos Escobar, who was going to take on Austin Theory for the United States Championship later on. But he was attacked by Theory and targeted his knee. Rey Mysterio would come to his aid. Back in the ring, it was another match between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. A very back-and-forth match. Watching this, it looked like Kross may actually win, especially after Styles hit the 450 splash and Kross got his leg on the rope. However, after some interference outside the ring, Styles would hit the Styles Clash for the win. At this point, I can't even remember how many times Kross has lost to Styles. Honestly, it kinda pointless for AJ to be a part of this feud, as even though his winning, he gets nothing out of it. Edge would then make his return back to SmackDown. He talked about how he realized that he could once again wrestle. He talked about how he had an incident while filming with Sheamus, and when he took this bump and felt fine, he realized that he might be able to return. Edge then invited Sheamus out to the ring and challenged his to a match next week in Edge's hometown, which he accepted. LA Knight then came out to another huge pop from the crowd. He was taking on Top Dollar. We all knew he was going to win the match, which he did after hitting an elbow in the BFT. But he was not done there. After the match, Knight got on the mic and took a slight shot at The Miz. Do you think he will be on Raw next week? Meanwhile, backstage, Santos Escobar said he was able to compete and wanted to face Austin Theory. But before that match, we got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits talking about the attack they did last week. Definitely more to come from this group. It was then time for the US title match. As Santos Escobar made his entrance, Theory would attack him again and could not be able to compete. But it was then decided that Rey Mysterio would challenge Theory for the title. Honestly, I thought would have retained. But after a 619 and the splash, Rey Mysterio was the new United States champion. Definitely a great moment and probably one of his last runs with a title. It was then time for the Bloodline segment. Roman thanked Jimmy for what he did at SummerSlam and even offered him to become the new right-hand man. But Jimmy said he did not do it for Roman. Then Jey's music hit, and he came down to the ring. Jimmy said the reason he did it was so Jey did not become like Roman, and he did not want the USOs to end. Jimmy then left the ring, as Roman told Jey it was all his fault. Jey had heard enough, and super kicked him. Solo then attacked him, but Jey got him out of the ring, and would then spear Roman. Jey would then call back Jimmy, and as you would think Jey was going to forgive Jimmy, Jey super kicked him too. Jey then looked at the camera and said he's done with the Bloodline, he's done with SmackDown, and that he quits. SmackDown would then end with Jey leaving through the crowd. Definitely an eventful show. But what did you guys think of it? And what do you guys think of Jey saying he quits?